Oh yes, the moment we've been waiting for is just right here before us because we've got right here in our Hangout studio, we've got the one and only, you know.
That's where that comes from.
We've got Darey here. Come on, let's see.
What's up, everybody? Mo Eazy is also here. Zaina is here.
Yes.
With Mr. K, you know.
Yes. So
hanging out. We're just chilling, hanging out.
Yeah, just chilling.
Shout out to the team, Google Plus.
Yep. All of them, they've been sorting us out and supporting us, and our work team at Channels Television. Now, this today we're just looking at what you've done and what these handsome gentlemen and beautiful lady, how they've supported to make happen some of the good tunes that you've done. First, let's talk about your latest release, the single that you've just done. Tell us, how did you come about the lyrics? Because it seems like it's a mixture of old and new.
I think you're perfectly right. Actually, it's a remix. You know, Siseko, for the guys out there who've seen the video and who know the song. It's Siseko. It's a remix. The original was more laid back, more mellow, more jazzy. So the remix was to give it a different vibe, a different life. And that's why Flavor came on it. Because he's the king of high life. The king of the East. So the king of the East meets the guy they call the king of R&B. And just to create hybrid, me, I'm never afraid to break new ground and try something new, because for me, it's even easier to chart a new path than to follow. I find it a bit difficult to follow trends and what everybody is doing.
You pretty much create your own trend.
Well, it's hard work,
Yes.
to a certain extent, but I've done it so often now that's my thinking. I'm like, okay, everything that's going on, we have to always try and think of a fresh way to do the same old thing, which is difficult because there's really nothing new under the sun. But in hybrids and joining, this is probably, I think, arguably the first song ever in the history of Nigerian music that has such a wide, how should I put it, the dose of the Yoruba language and the Igbo language in one song together. There's no other song.
So pretty much, if you're looking for crossover, this is it.
Exactly.
It crosses over all barriers and all genres.
Exactly. The original was was much more Yoruba with a bit of English,
Yes.
and very mellow. But this one's just cuts across. And also, for me, the song is also looking at how we can regain the pride we lost. It's like before we used to be much closer as a people. We looked at our Igbos as brothers and sisters, the Hausas, and we're beginning to lose some of that. Obviously, with the issues of insecurity that we have in the country, and marginalization and quota system. It's never, nowadays. It's not about what you know or how good you are. It's about he's from the East, so you put him there because it's his turn. So rather than push, it's not like I'm trying to push the culture to the background. I'm actually trying to push it to the forefront. Let's harmonize, and celebrate what makes us different.
Okay.
Because that's what makes us strong.
I want to talk about that, and also talk about the issue of insecurity and stuff like that, because I know you do travel from the south to the east to the west to the north.
Mm-hmm.
You go around the country quite a bit. So it will be good to hear your perspective on that. But before I go into that, there's one thing that I find quite exciting. The video, the very day I watched that video, it was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. The color, the vibrancy, the dynamism in this video. It's so real. It's like you can almost touch the downfall buses and the roadway and touch the people.
Yeah.
Who conceptualized this, and how did it eventually evolve?
Well, shout out to Soul Muzik, the team. Even Zaina and Mo Eazy were in the video. They saw the you know the part of the making and all of that. The team, especially at Soul Muzik, we've been doing several videos over the years, and this was no different. You know, we produced the video, we put all the different elements together, and we wanted to come up with something fresh. You know, something that also is indigenous. You know, there's no way we're talking about Sisiko and we're shooting it in South Africa, you know, or LA or Miami or you know somewhere else around the world. So it's definitely about showcasing our culture and being proud of, you know, that corner street, you know, on Marina, you know, right next to UBA. That's where we shot the video, you know. So that's what you know the video really is about, you know. And like you said, almost like touching out, you know, reaching out, you can touch the downfall. Imagine some of our people who haven't been home in donkey years, you know. We need something. We need to regain our pride, our national pride, and be like, wow, I never knew the Igbo language is so sweet and so beautiful. Flavor made it so. You know, I also did a bit of, you know, Yoruba, Igbo singing, you know, and he also did a bit of Yoruba. So it's, you know, it's great.
But when you look at the production of that video, I was sitting down watching one day and I was thinking, how I would have loved to see this in 3D.
Well, yeah, well, it's. I think nowadays you can almost turn anything into 3D. You know, there's 3D versions of movies that were made before HD even came. So we may find a way. It could be interesting. Yeah, if it's possible. You know, but definitely, I mean, shooting 3D videos into the future, it might be something we've thought about it. You know, but sometimes it's not. You know, it's not always the best.
Viable.
Yeah, exactly. Who's gonna watch it in 3D? How many people are gonna see it in 3D?
But that's quite futuristic. And,
it is, and we are futuristic as Asiko. You know, Asiko says clearly.
Is the time?
Yeah.
What was your rolling out of this? Well, what did you do in there? How did you steer the deal to make it more easy?
She's a Sicilian.
Pretty much just lending support and doing what we do best. Show up when we need to. You know, show that we're a strong team and family. Just have fun. I mean, when you watch the video, you can see that there's a lot of fun. Everybody had a great time, off and on set. So. Yeah.
And then the set for that video. Who came about the idea that let's go do it right in the heart of Lagos? I reckon it was shot in the heart of Lagos.
It was Marina, to be precise.
Yes.
Yeah. That's production credit again to Soul Muzik. You know, the partners, my wife, you know, and the rest of the team. Because in coming up with the treatment, it kept changing over the months. You know, and then our director also, who's South African, by the way, came all the way, you know, to Lagos. First time in Lagos. He had quite an experience because the area boys were very, you know, interesting that day. They showed us a lot of love. Put it that way. Yeah, we wanted to do something that everybody can gravitate towards and identify with very easily. So it was the best place. And again, we're talking about Siseko, so we needed some of the old buildings in the background, traffic, you know, which is world famous now. Lagos is world famous for. I've always said, you know, over the years, I've said, you know, we should make Lagos traffic a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
So people come up from all over the world, you know, pay some money just to watch it, you know, feel what we go through, you know, and it's something you can't really hide away from it, you know. It's urban, cosmopolitan. There's traffic all over the place. You know, shout out to our friends who are hanging out with us right now. By the way.
Okay. Who's any of them want to say anything?
Yes. Mr. Perkins.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a Nigerian anyway, from Abuja.
From Abuja,
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, but basically I've been in the UK, so whenever I see your Hangout stuff, I always want to know what's up. What's up?
That's nice.
I was in the last one you did some weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to show you.
The Amstel Malta. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We had connection problems and stuff like that, but it was still fun.
Mr. Kayode, good evening, sir.
Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
Please.
I watch your program a lot. Sunrise Daily Saturday.
Oh, sunrise on Saturday. Thank you very kindly.
All right.
Yeah, good. So, do you have any question for Darey? I'm not the star here. It's Darey Mo Eazy, Zaina baby. They
Yeah,
are the star.
Moizy, Moizy. I want to say that I've listened to a few of your songs, like three. They are just too much. Really,
Wow.
Too
they are
much.
just too much. Because the first one I listened to was when I was in Abuja.
Yeah.
Is it less than something like that on in Kiss FM? You know,
Okay.
the next thing that came to my mind, I was like, who is this guy? Who is this? Who is this? And it's good. It's good. I love Nigerian music, and seriously, you guys are making it so good for us. You know,
Yeah,
so
thank
so
you.
good. I was in a gathering yesterday, African gathering yesterday,
In the UK.
and
Okay.
yeah, and Darry's song was played from YouTube. We're doing as in it's a gathering of African Caribbeans, but I tell
Oh,
you, 75% of people there they are Nigerians,
wow.
and it was
And how
flooded.
much music did they listen
It
to?
was
How much Nigerian?
flooded. It was flooded with Darey Asiko. They played one Asiko. They played one of your other song again. They played the band. In fact, it was flooded with Nigeria. I was like, wow, I'm a Nigerian. Let
Yeah,
them know.
that's something to be proud of, though.
I'm
Nice one,
telling you.
nice one,
I'm telling you. I'm telling
nice
you.
one.
Okay, so Darey, let me come back to you. When you do a song like that, and you look at what you've done in the past, where do you place this one in the scheme of things?
It's I mean, with my music, I've never been. It's been difficult to put me in a box. I'm quite unpredictable. And I think this song as well was quite left of field. People didn't quite see it coming. And that's it's an advantage sometimes. When you're able to spring surprises, as long as you can do the hard work and make the surprise worth the hype, or let people know that wow, some effort went into this. It might be unpopular, for the time being that it comes out, but eventually everyone realizes that you know what, this is actually something worth being proud of. So definitely, it's different from some of the older things, but if you actually check the track record, along the years, after every few R&B songs come out, I come up with something a little crazy. So Baniki D, Style Na Style, Siseko Remix, they all sort of have a similar, vibe, which is different from your Not the Girls and No Stars and the other ballads and
Yeah.
things like that.
Okay. Now, what is it you're looking to do next then?
Well, I think that's why Zaina and Mo Eazy, they're part of the future, especially of soul music. I've sort of created the past, and some of that experience that I'm coming with is what I'm, sharing, lending them, or I'll dash them something, so that they can use some of that, if it's useful, hopefully, into their futures, their careers, as we support them, their music, their personality, their character, whatever it is that they can borrow, and use positively. Soul Music, myself, the rest of the team are giving them. So that's what he came out first. He's the first artist on Soul Music. His song is called Kosoro. Music videos, are right now on YouTube. If you check the Soul Music channel on YouTube, you can catch Kosoro. She's out as the first lady of Soul Music. She's out with two records right now. One is called Lulula.
Wow. She did that song.
She did that song, yeah. You know it.
Wow. I heard the song last week. Cool FM.
Cool FM, aha. So
Yeah.
she did Lulula and Totally Yours, which features Wayne Wonder. Music videos for that will be, for those ones will be out soon. Where they're in the works. So, like I said, they're part of the future. Asiko, my song with Josie and Ice Prince will be out. Video wise, will be out soon. I've got other music videos we're planning, so it's going to be a really interesting future, between the three of us and soul music.
Okay. Now, when you look at what you've done in the past, which of these songs would you say that stand out for you?
Wow, that's difficult. It's like telling. It's like saying which of your children. That one had small.
The good thing about music is that they get a life of their own, but they can't come back and complain.
My personal favorites, sometimes, to be honest with you, they never ever make the album. So I can only really talk about the ones that were eventually released and all that. Not the Girl was a great surprise. It was released. It was released at a time when it was destined to fail. With if one went with all what was available, what the market was dictating, what the trend was looking like. If anybody, a lot of people said, even within our production team, some people were like, what, never. Let's not release this song. It's not going to.
It's not its time.
Yeah,
yet.
and then to just give you the extent to which the song, made an impact. One day I was shooting something called The Underrated Show, one of my, spin-off, mini-series TV shows where I'm trying to give back to society and encourage and inspire other talents by going to the streets with a camera, microphone, and catching random people. They're not prepared and just, what, Mr. K, there's the microphone. What can you do? You can sing. Oh yeah, sing. And record that. And I just captured the real essence of the Nigerian spirit. These are guys that would probably just stay in the bathroom and be doing their singing. So they come out, and I'm recording this thing in Festac because I used some interesting places, which are the places I grew up in Lagos. So I used Maryland areas in Festac, and whatnot. And this particular time we're in Festac shooting one of the episodes, and lo and behold, kids pushing tires, spare tires that have, that are destroyed. You know how kids are wearing pants, underwear, running around the street barefoot. And as soon as they saw me, they just started singing. You know, that's that uncle. You know, like that's, and they were following him, and I'm like, wow. That's just coming off the heels of your question. To answer your question, really and truly, that's one of the songs amongst many others that just defied, what was going on. And as the more they defied the trend, the more confident I became in, like, continue to think left of field, continue to be different, or at least try, and create and continue to follow your own path. And eventually, obviously, a few other people have followed suit in realizing that, I too can be different and make a living from this and, make my own, put my own stamp down.
Okay, you have some collabo in the works.
I've had a few,
Yes.
Yeah.
But which one have you got? One that is
that stands out.
Yes, that you're looking at doing now.
Well, the one that stands out at the moment is one I've done. Yes, there are a few in the pipeline, but the one with Camillionaire, was very interesting. The way you are, I like the way you are.
I love that song.
That was released. Yeah. Perkins likes it. That song was released, and within, I can say, a couple of weeks, I'm promoting on Twitter, check out my link, guys, download, free download, blah, 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 video coming soon, and all that. And then, I reached out to, and then I get a DM, like, from this guy. I'm like, I checked the handle. I'm like, wow, this is Nigerian guy now. That's a big rapper. He's Grammy nominated, I think. And all that. A big deal. Yeah. Telling me that he likes the beats. Wow, that this beat is banging. What? Let's try. And I'm like, please, yes. Let's. What? Why? I reached out to him. I'm like, would you like to, let's do something. I'm like, yeah. So he heard it. I'm like, this sounds good. Let's do something. Send the instrumental over. I thought he was joking. I'm like, okay, send me your email. This is all online. Till tomorrow, I've never met him. Okay. We chat online. We chat on the phone, give him a call and all that. But we've never met. And because, again, shout out to
the collabo.
It's been done. Everybody loves it. It's been released. Yeah.
So how did you record that?
It's modern technology. It's social media. Thank God for social media. And this is this is where it's going. Look at with Google Hangout, we'll be hanging out with all sorts of people from there. Share files.
Rewind. What you're saying is that this is somebody, Cameline, you've never met.
Still have never met.
And still,
physically,
and you've done.
We have a recording that has won. The song has won awards.
Wow.
And the collabo itself has, thousands and thousands of downloads, if not millions. Who knows with the piracy level? So it was due to modern technology.
So if anybody says
he sent me email, I sent him the instrumental.
Yes.
He sent his verse via email. I put it in the studio, downloaded it, put it in the session file, did the remix, changed a few things in the song, created the remix, sent it back to him via email. He listened to it. He's like,
"Yeah,
thumbs up. That sounds good." I'm like, "Okay, should we go ahead and release it?" He's like, "Cool." We put it out there, put it on the album, download. It went viral. Radio plays it till tomorrow. Everywhere.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. And sometimes it's that simple. It's almost similar to Zaina working with Wayne Wonder, and sometimes that's how we reach out. Sometimes we have people like Flow Rider, follows me back on Twitter. We send DMs occasionally. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Sometimes it's not about let's work together. Sometimes it just brings people closer, and you're like, wow, that's a musician. This guy's a musician. Different parts of the world. The music may not be related, but somehow it is related.
You find a way to blend.
Exactly.
Wow, that is truly amazing. How that story is just one that. Even after this conversation, I still want to know
a bit more.
The depth of it. I want to get to starting nitty gritty of that story.
That's the abridged version.
Now, when you look at the musical trend in Nigeria, I can look back and say the music of the 80s and the 90s, and then something just snapped.
Changed.
There was a change.
But there was an emptiness.
There was a
void after that period. There was a void.
But there was something. I just suddenly started hearing new tunes, and suddenly I thought, what is this? And I had loads of Nigerians in the UK for many years who didn't listen to Nigerian music beyond King Sunny Ade and the occasional features and Wasiu and Demasha. And then suddenly it's like they will not listen to any American or British musician. They only want to hear Nigerian remixes and mixes and all that. And all the DJs were playing only Nigerian, including at clubs that were beyond Nigeria.
You're extreme. You're
what changed? At what point?
Wow. Mo came back from the UK. Okay, he was born in Kano. He's originally from Oyo State, but most of his life he spent in the UK.
Okay.
Zaina was born in the US, but she's from Lagos State. Her folks are from here. She's been here so many times. She knows her roots. For like the people you mentioned, who have stayed in the UK and whatnot, these are guys who want to come back home. There's there's something. There's that desire. The reason for what you're talking about, from in my own opinion, if I were to try and dissect it a little bit without wasting too much time, really is to put it simple. It's not just the music. There's been several happenings. There's been several occurrences across board that even though you're out there, sometimes they even know what's going on more than the guys who live here in the country. Yes. So across politics, thanks to the likes of Channels TV, watching live on the web, and broadcasting and all that, to our sportsmen and our sportswomen, the occasional win a medal there, do great at this competition and all that, to some of the musicians, making a break, and to Nollywood. So it was, I wouldn't say that, I think it was a cultural revolution, musically, artistically and all that over the years, while that void was there, where Majek Fashek was one of the last big things, you know, to really blow up, you know, and then everything sort of disappeared, you know, to the likes of Junior and Pretty, you know, the days of Daniel Wilson and whatnot, and it all went into some kind of abyss, you know, that you mentioned, and then things just started popping out of nowhere. The guys who used to listen to Sonny Ade still listen to Sonny Ade, but also now listen to Nice because of the, you know, this synonym, you know, the synonymity with, you know, genre, tone, and all that, and then it's just blown up from there. So it's just I think it's just a collaboration of everybody's efforts across acting. Our politicians, I don't know, they have really helped, you know, to creating what it is that we're talking about. But that's the reason why Mo and Zaina have come back home, you know, to lend their own talent from what they've been observing from far to contribute actively. And I think also that goes out to everyone out there. It's not like, okay, don't do what you're doing out there, but we also need everyone to come back and join this, you know, revolution.
How easy is it to survive in the Nigerian music industry of today? Because some people say it's it's a dog-eat-dog environment. It's a cutthroat business.
I think that's the question. They are in the industry of today. So I think from Zaina, what do you think?
Zaina, what's your thoughts?
You know, I've been observing and been around it for a while. And I would say,
how long is a while?
she's been in and out of Nigeria. So what? When then the band came back?
That was
okay.
So I would say there's two sides. One side is I think it's more open now than it had been when that revolution was first taking place and everybody was trying to find their footing and, you know, gain ground. Now that we've kind of had a standard and an understanding, it's more open. But needless to say, it's fast becoming saturated. So to maintain your lane, I'll put it like that. I'm not going to maintain your lane, but for people to know that this is your lane, it can be a little challenging. I can only speak from a female perspective, and I would say from a female perspective, I think we have a slight edge because it's not too saturated in that area yet.
Actually, I am so happy you mentioned the female perspective now.
Yes.
When you look at Nigeria, the Nigerian music industry, the guys are doing well. The guys that are doing well are doing superbly well. They're doing excellently well. They're making loads of dosh, and they're doing a great job. But the ladies, you don't find that many. What is it that stopped them? Is it that we have a shortage of female talent?
Not at all.
Or they just
It's a cultural issue. Before you even, I believe it's a cultural issue. In general, Nigeria is a very male.
Hello.
In general,
welcome everyone. By the way.
I'm sorry. As I was saying, in general, Nigeria is a very male, masculine society.
Freckins, you are laughing.
It's funny.
But it's true.
It is.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's the same for music. It doesn't change because of that. So naturally, the men do have that upper hand, but that doesn't mean that we have a shortage of talent in women. It just means that the women have to work double as hard to gain the same respect. I think respect is the first thing. To say that, you know, I'm a female, but I can go toe to toe with D'banj and Darey and Wizkid and, you know, whoever. You know, we have the likes of Onyeka Onwenu of the past who, you know, who did that and who showed up as women. Yes, and, you know, and who's still going. So we do have